Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue.
And I'm Jordan.
And we will be your hosts as we take this journey together. Today we're going to be talking about... Do they have...
Oh, do they? My brain immediately went Emerald Archer, and I was like, no, wait, that's not.
It's Emerald Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember, because animated movie called that. We'll be talking about the Emerald Knight, the Green Lantern. Before we talk Hal Jordan, technically there was one before him.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, back in the golden age of comics, the man who went by the moniker of Green Lantern was a man named Alan Scott, who, aside from the cosmological entities of DC that represent the 9 major colors, there is completely separate forces around the Earth named after colors. It's very confusing. But as an example, the gray is a force of death and reanimation. Solomon Grundy is actually one of the avatars of the gray in DC Comics.
I never knew any of this.
Yeah, it's wild that they have 2 completely different color-based cosmological forces.
That's wild.
Yeah, so the gray tends to come into conflict a lot with the green, which is the energy of life. So Solomon Grundy is often Gotham-based, and he's an avatar of the gray, so he doesn't get along very well with Poison Ivy, who is an avatar of the green. However, Poison Ivy is not the only avatar of the green. Alan Scott actually got, from what I understand, an enchanted lantern from the green. And I believe he wore like a red shirt with a black cape. Let me look at that real quick.
That sounds roughly correct.
Yeah, it was a red shirt with a yellow circle on the chest and a green lantern image. He had a black cape that had like a green inside and like a super high collar, like Doctor Strange high collar. Like as tall as the top of his head, high collar. Dark green pants with red boots that have yellow straps all around the boots. Big old black and gold Santa belt. And one of the old-timey domino masks that covers his nose.
Love the domino masks.
Yeah, dude, domino masks are like one of my favorite superhero things. Like I've said it multiple times. I know they're ineffective as hell, but they're just cool looking. Like they're classy. But yeah, so that was Alan Scott's original outfit, and he would go around, and like I keep seeing images of him wearing a ring, but did he originally wear a ring? I thought he didn't. Like, I know he's been used in the modern era, right? Like he's been like reintegrated into.
Yes. In the modern era, he has a ring.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't think he originally had one.
Don't know. I remember that he was mentioned in Doomsday Clock when Dr. Manhattan is shifting things around in the DC multiverse. And one of the things he changes is he like nudges that lantern like a few inches out of reach during the moment that Alan Scott was supposed to accidentally grab it, and
Oh,
it like fucks up everything. it's
well, and
it's
Alan
nuts.
Scott's powers and abilities thing does say he has a magical ring. So okay, I guess he was the first one to do the ring. That's fine. Um, but what was really funny is that okay, because he is an agent of the green, uh, his his powers, which I guess we should say, the Green Lantern typically has the ability to generate green light constructs. Whatever they imagine, uh, they can make a physical construct out of hard light projected from the ring that they're wearing. And for him, because he is an agent of the green, his constructs cannot directly affect anything made of wood.
That's a fun restriction.
It's not the only restriction either. I do believe that uh hang on. It's not saying it here. I know one of the Green Lanterns in the old days had a weakness to the color yellow.
That was Hal.
Like, was that Hal?
Yes.
Okay. And it's like
I'm like 80% sure it was Hal.
and like it was such a ridiculous restriction because it was like it wasn't like he specifically had a weakness to the force of yellow from like Sinestro. No, just like yellow shit in general.
Yeah, you wear a yellow t-shirt and go try to beat up Hal Jordan and you will win.
Yeah. So it was like okay, do you know how I actually first learned of that?
How?
It was from fucking Dexter's Lab. Because they would make a lot of nerd culture references. And I didn't always get them because I was a really little kid when that show came out.
Right.
But there was just a bit where it was like some supervillain was fighting someone and he's trying to like suss out what the hero's like weakness must be, right? He's like, does this glowing rock cause you pain? And they're just like, no, not really. He's like, how about this slice of cheese?
It's brilliant.
So Alan Scott, he sort of had a Flash of Two Worlds type meeting with Green Lantern, with Hal Jordan in the Silver Age, but he more or less just sort of like kind of vanished for a while. Though, like I said, in more modern comics, he did come back. Apparently, somewhat recently, post Infinite Crisis and stuff, like he was actually made a proper Green Lantern, and at one point he was wearing this like knight armor of his Earth 22 counterpart, because on that Earth, Emerald Knight isn't just a moniker; they are literally knights that wear emerald armor that produces green fire.
Ooh. I like this.
That's fucking dope. I don't know, like Space Cop is a neat thing, but I feel like that's done a lot. I feel like a lot of that is done more these days than fucking cool magic knights. Like, I'm also biased because I'm one of the only people on Earth who knows what Mystic Knight of Tir Nog is. So, I'll probably bring that up again when we start talking about Power Rangers. Don't worry.
Looking forward to it.
But yeah, Alan Scott. There's not a whole lot to say about him, but he, at the very least, he.
Did we mention he's a member of the Justice Society?
Oh, we did not. Correct. He was a member of the original Justice Society of America with, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick, like Dr. Fate, Red Tornado. Yeah, it was very neat whenever you can see the old Golden Age stuff. And there was an episode of Justice League where the League,
oh yeah,
was attacked by this like telepathic kid, vast psionic abilities, and they were played this constructed psychic world straight out of their comic books. A lot of them grew up reading fictional comic books, and these characters were essentially like shows of, for all intents and purposes, these golden age heroes. So like there was like a guy who was kind of like Alan Scott, and there was a guy who was kind of like Jay Garrick, and
which
so
was also kind of a fun nod to like the original 60s Flash comics when Jay Garrick was a comic book character in Barry Allen's world.
I hate that shit. I really do. I hate it. It's like, oh, you're reading a comic and you got used to this one fictional character, but now that fictional character is a fictional character from the perspective of this other fictional character that we're now going to focus on. Digimon did the same thing, and it was fucking infuriating. Do you know about that?
I don't.
Okay, so did you ever watch Digimon?
No.
Okay, the first 2 seasons of Digimon were related. They were Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 2, because the kids who went through the first season and survived all the shit that went down wound up becoming mentors to younger kids for the second season. And so like the original team was still there in the story, but now they were taking more of a mentor role. And so they're very closely related. And then season 3 is Digimon Tamers, which literally opens up with, oh, I want to go home and watch the Digimon TV show and play with my Digimon card game. And and so Digimon is a fictional property in their world,
Oh,
but
Lord.
it's also a totally real thing because Digimon starts spilling over into their world. And it was fucking frustrating because I was like, that's too much. That's just annoying. And it also becomes completely broken because years and years later, for Digimon Fusion, they decided to do a thing where all the protagonists of all the previous seasons come together, you know, the fucking like Forever Red kind of thing. But Takuya, or no, sorry, Takato, the main character of Digimon Tamers, shows up, and so does Taichi and fucking Davis, whatever his name in Japanese is, who again, from Takato's perspective, they're fictional characters, and he was never once like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that should have. That sounds like it doesn't work. I do like when I like the way Gwenpool does it, where all the Marvel world stuff is real in its world, but she is from our world, and she falls into a comic book, and now she's in the Marvel world, and that's a fun concept.
Sure. I also like that's more palatable, but I'm still like, I don't like it when you try to claim that this person's quote unquote real world, because like obviously because it's also still a fictional copy of our quote unquote real world, right? Because it's like you with the fucking like, oh, Superboy Prime, he's from the real world. Well, he's clearly not. I would have heard if there was a fucking Superman. You can't just be like, hey, look at this kid who fell from the sky. Wouldn't it be funny if we called him Clark Kent, just like that fictional character, Superman, you know? Oh, wait.
Yeah, that the story of Superboy Prime just is mind bending to me. I don't get it. I thought it was fine, but I don't get it. I guess the best way to do it is when the fictional events of a world create comic books, and then they're like Logan, where there are X-Men comic books, but it's because the X-Men were famous 20 years ago.
Or even if it's like, did you ever watch Neverending Story?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the Neverending Story movies, the entire idea was that like it's this guy, like this kid in the real world, right? He encounters a book called The Neverending Story, and he's reading it. And as he is reading it, these events are happening in this fictional world of the story.
Skip to the end.
But what?
So he skips to the end.
No. So what happens is like it's printed, so he thinks that it's all like already, you know, written, but it's like transpiring in real time. Like every time he turns the page, the story advances. And at one point, because his name is Bastion. They start talking about like there's somebody who's in another world who can help us, beat this villainous force. And they're like, who? And it's like his name is Bastion, and he's just like, oh, what? And
Yep.
like as he continues reading, like the characters start talking to him through the book, and yet he realizes that like the lines between reality and fiction become blurred because of
Okay, that's
this.
actually pretty cool. I like that.
The book is more or less not a fictional construct and more like a portal to another world that's happening concurrently. And in later movies, he actually travels to this world, Fantasia, and it becomes a thing where like whoever is holding the book can like fuck up reality in Fantasia because they can dictate the story because the story plays out however the person reading the story wants it to happen.
Okay, so that starts feeling a lot like Once Upon a Time on ABC.
Man. God damn it. Drink.
Because they have that where they've got the author and they've got the storybook, and it turns
Then
out
they
that,
ripped
like,
it off of Neverending Story because that shit's from the 80s and 90s.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. But I really liked the way Once Upon a Time did it. Anyway, Alan Scott.
Yeah.
One more thing to say about him is
Okay.
he is periodically mentioned in DC's Stargirl TV series.
Really?
Because the story of Stargirl is that like the Justice Society was a thing and they died 10 years ago, and now we're building a new Justice Society. And to not spoil anything, someone will eventually get the lantern in the ring that used to belong to Alan Scott, because there's like the old Hall of Justice or whatever you would call it for the Justice Society is like still there and has all of their stuff in it as like artifacts. Yeah. And so that's pretty cool because we've got one guy played by Luke Wilson. Yeah. And he's like, he was Starman's sidekick back in the day, and he's now the stepfather of the main character, Stargirl. And so he's like explaining stuff about what the Justice Society was, and so he occasionally mentions Alan Scott. So that's kind of cool.
Cool.
So I've not seen Alan Scott, but we've heard about him.
My favorite version of Starman is the one where his body is made of space, because I always think when shit is made of space, it's the coolest fucking thing. I don't know if you've ever played Ni no Kuni. It's a video game made by the folks at Studio Ghibli. It's very good, actually. Like really good. Like, more people should play it. Hey, everyone, if you have something that you can play it on, go play Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. But the titular White Witch has a cape that, like, when she does that like evil queen thing where like, she throws out her arm and the cape billows back, you see that the inside of it is made of space.
That's badass.
Yeah, that's cool. Fucking Alien X from Ben 10 is so goddamn cool because he's made of space. I love that shit. Anyway, hey, Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
All right, ready to get canceled for this one. Hal Jordan is an overrated motherfucker, and he's super unimaginative, and he's one of the least effective Green Lanterns, and you can say that he has the most raw power and willpower all that you want, but when he doesn't make good shit, it's really fucking ineffective.
There's also that time when he almost like ended the universe by becoming Parallax.
Yep. So he's not a good Green Lantern. And you know what? Like, it really sells how easily swayed he is by his emotions. Because, like, okay, now we're in the Space Cop section of Green Lanterns, right? The Green Lantern Corps is essentially galactic peacekeepers overseen by the Guardians of the Universe. I always have to not call them Guardians of the Galaxy, and I always have to not call them Masters of the Universe, because those are two different things. But the the Guardians of the Universe are like, okay, we got these rings for you, but they're based on your willpower, and his willpower is not shit, despite the fact that people are like, he's got like the strongest will. No, the fuck he doesn't. In Justice League Doom from 2012, he thinks he killed one woman who kind of looked like his ex, and he was ready to just give it up. And I'm aware, look, I'm fully well aware he was under the effect of Scarecrow's fear toxin. And what's funny is that the fear toxin is always colored yellow, and yellow is the color of fear, and so it's like his weakness. Look, I get it. I understand that. But what the fuck? It's that easy. Scarecrow can completely just de-nut him entirely? What?
Oh Lord.
And like afterwards, after Batman like busts in and is like, "How? This isn't real, you pussy." Yeah, he's just like, "Oh," he's like, "I've got the antidote." Yeah, and he's like, "I don't need the antidote," and he like wills himself up, and the ring floats back to him, and he puts it on, and he becomes Green Lantern. It's like, no, you don't get to act like you're tough after that.
I really need to hear Kevin Conroy record that line now. How? It isn't real, you pussy.
It'd be great. But yeah, was it Kevin Conroy in that movie?
I have no idea.
Have you seen that movie?
Is this is Justice League Doom? Yes, that is Conroy. I just really wish the line was different.
He does have the fun line in that movie of "Then you're damn fools."
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I know Hal Jordan has his fans, but the reason that you are his fan is because he is the first one you grew up with, not because he's superior. Let's just squash that right now. He can be the original, and even then, he's not the original. Alan Scott is the original. But like in terms of the space cop Green Lanterns, he can be the original. He can be the one that you grew up with. He can be the one that has the most representation and properties, and so he's the one that you know the best. All I ask is that
because he's the one with the multi-million-dollar movie.
I was going to yeah. And yes, he's played by Ryan Reynolds, which depicts him as very charming, but he's not good. Look, the most memorable thing Green Lantern has ever done, from my perspective at the very least, is also the funniest fucking thing that I've ever seen from DC Comics properties, which is just they're standing off against Darkseid, and fucking Green Lantern steps forward and he says, "Stand back and peep the light show. Green Lantern's got this." And he flies forward and he makes an energy construct, and Darkseid immediately shatters it, and he just punches Hal once, sends him flying into a wall. Hal hits the wall and then hits the ground, and then 3 parademons immediately land on him and just start punching him over and over again.
Yeah, and side note, before Darkseid punches him into a wall, he grabs him by the arm and just shatters his arm.
Yeah.
And then Green Lantern has to have a green construct sling for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of sling, again, Justice League Doom, when I say like his constructs are ineffectual, like he's fighting Star Sapphire, and his big like finishing move is making a big green slingshot. It just hits her with a big green spherical pellet. It's like, there are a million better things you could have done at that point. Why not just make a fucking gun or a cannon? Why a slingshot? Like, his shit is like, okay, the things he makes are like what a child from the 60s would think of. A baseball bat, which he does in the movie, to take out like 3 normal guys, or a slingshot.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even a baseball bat. It's just a giant fist.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it was a fist. That's right.
Which is even worse.
Yeah.
He just punches them, but bigger.
Like his ultimate attack in Injustice 2 is making separate pieces of a big green robot and putting them together. Like first he makes some legs that like stomp on the enemy, and then he makes like some body and arms that like smash down, and then he puts them on top of the legs, and then he makes a head and he hits them with the head and puts them on top of himself, and then he just shoots them with some arm guns, and it's like that is way too much for what you just accomplished. Like you made that shit so needlessly complex for like you could have just made some guns and hit them with the guns multiple times and then shot them. Why did you make a giant robot if you don't want to do cool giant robot shit with it?
Yep.
It's just very frustrating to me, which I think at some point the writers went, yeah, Hal really does kind of overcomplicate and oversimplify things somehow at the same time. Like it's really ineffective. So then they're like, how about the next guy, instead of being a pilot, he's going to be a mechanic, and so he's much more streamlined in the process. Enter John Stewart, who most of the time he doesn't even make shit. He's just like, oh, this thing is a perfect battery for energy projection. So like, okay, let's do a quick comparison. Say an enemy is firing some sort of big attack at you. Hal Jordan, he makes a brick wall. John Stewart, he just makes a fucking energy barrier around himself. You need to hit enemies from a distance. John Stewart, again, will make a slingshot. Wait, what did I say? Hal Jordan, sorry, will just make a slingshot. John Stewart will just fire a big fucking green laser beam from his ring. Like,
yeah, Jon Stewart really simplifies shit. He's like, I'm just gonna energy blast this and force field this, and he at least in my experiences with him in the Justice League animated series, he'll like occasionally go, I want to throw something at him. Here's a catapult that I'm gonna throw this tree, but.
Yeah.
But usually it's just like, this green laser will cut this.
Yeah. He makes things so effectively. Like, he's really capable of making constructs, and his constructs that he makes are great. But he doesn't make constructs when he doesn't need to. You have a ring that is giving you flight, super strength, some modicum of super speed. You can fire lasers and make barriers. A lot of times, that's enough. You don't need to make shit if you don't have to. So he doesn't. He just uses those powers very effectively. And and it makes it more of a treat when he does make something. And yeah, like I feel like I probably actually know Jon Stewart better than I know Hal, because my first big exposure to Green Lantern was with the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah, I definitely know Jon Stewart better because I am mostly a TV movies person and not a comics person. So I've just got the movie to go off of for Hal and his various animated movie appearances. And then I've got, 4 or 5 seasons of Justice League cartoons for Jon Stewart.
Yeah. And John in that series had a relationship with Shaira, and it ended well.
It did not end well.
What was it called? Star-Crossed? Was that the event?
Yes.
Yes. The finale of the original Justice League cartoon was called Star-Crossed, which was basically just, hey, the Thanagarians decided they're gonna fuck shit up. Turns out Hawkgirl was just an advance agent that was sussing out the of Earth's defenses.
When I tell you that broke my heart. It broke me.
Yeah. Oh, and you weren't alone. It also broke John's heart. And
yep.
I don't know if this is a thing in the comics, but he's blind, right? In that show?
Wait, really?
I think so. He's got white eyes and he's always wearing sunglasses.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, he's got normal. I think he's just got green pupils when he's wearing the ring.
But like I could have sworn there was a time where he even like did he mention being blind? Hang on.
I'm almost completely sure he's not blind.
Uh,
The only reason I'm extra sure is because Batman says that blinding a Green Lantern is the only way to defeat them. Which, by the way, is the most fucked up thing ever. That Batman, in his contingency plans for how to defeat the Justice League, is basically saying a Green Lantern's power ring is the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. And he says its only, shortcoming is that the Lantern needs to be able to see what he's creating. So, and he says, a post-hypnotic suggestion placed on a Green Lantern could cause him to believe himself to be blind. Then, sensing the wearer's willpower, the ring will make it so and make him blind. And it's like, that's fucked up, Batman. You're gonna use the ring to blind him and then beat the shit out of him. That's fucked up. Batman does not play nice. Now I'm mentioning Batman. We'll get to that Batman episode eventually, man.
Well, apparently enough people along the same lines as I that on Google is John Stewart blind is a thing that pops up.
But is he?
Well, apparently not. No.
Okay. As I figured.
Confirming that he is, so.
I think it's just that he's got green pupils while he's wearing the ring, so people interpreted that as the kind of off-white that you might draw a blind person's eyes.
Also, well, I knew his eyes were glowing green, but like also he's never not wearing sunglasses in his casual thing. So like
I think that's just because he's cool.
I guess.
They just wanted him to look cool, so he's wearing sunglasses all the time.
It's just like we see him in casual clothes like all of twice in that entire fucking show, and both times he's wearing sunglasses, and like so I was always of the mindset that the reason his eyes are glowing green is because when he's Green Lantern, the ring is giving him his vision back. Well,
okay,
at the
that's
very
interesting.
and it also helped my hang on, sorry, just a second.
There's definitely scenes where he's not wearing the ring and he's not wearing sunglasses, because I can definitely picture him with normal black pupils that they gave everyone else in the show.
It also was an episode in Justice League Unlimited, I think, where Mordred, the son of Morgan Le Fay, cast a spell that turned them into kids, and he could barely see shit, and he's like, "Yeah,
okay, I see how that would."
He's like, as a kid, I needed glasses, and so he made some dorky ass glasses for himself. And when Clark and Diana were sort of giggling at him at that, he willed them to become the same mask that Kyle Rayner wears, which was a fun little nod. But yeah, so I was like, oh, so yeah, he totally has a degenerative eye disease, and by the time he's an adult, pretty much blind, and the ring gives him his sight. So that's always what my headcanon was, I guess.
That's fun. I'm pretty sure that's not true, but that's
yeah,
a fun
I guess
headcanon.
not, because I just fucking went to the goddamn Wikipedia page for John Stewart, and I Control F, and I was like blind, and nothing came up. I was like, fuck me.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fun headcanon, though. Another fun thing about John Stewart is that he's technically been on Arrow for 8 seasons, because they reveal it was just fan theories that it's like, wouldn't it be cool if he turns out to be John Stewart, because he's a bald-ish black dude with a lot of honor and stuff. I guess that was the only thing, is they were like, he's associated with someone who has green in their name, and he's a really cool black guy, so he should be John Stewart, and his first name is John. Because in Arrow, John Diggle is, I'm just assuming someone listening to this won't know this, John Diggle is like best friend of Oliver Queen's Green Arrow, and he's in the entire series. And a lot of fans really wanted him to be revealed to actually be Jon Stewart. And at some point, they did a 1-2 punch in season 7, because in season 7 we meet the Flash from the 90s TV series, played by John Wesley Shipp.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from a different Earth, and he sees John Diggle, and he goes, "Hi, John. You're not wearing your ring. Things must be different here." I was like, "Oh, damn, cool." And then we later find out that like his stepfather's last name was Stewart, so it's like, oh, so it's really possible that he could have been named Jon Stewart when we met him, and so they did really good with that. Oh, and I forgot, this is a minor spoiler for Arrow, for anyone who's not watched it, like skip forward 15 seconds. But at the very end of the series, we have John Diggle discover what we're pretty sure is a Green Lantern ring. Something crashes down out of space, and he opens the little box, and it's glowing green. So I'm like, oh, I guess he's going to be a Green Lantern eventually. That's cool.
Well, in the far future of 2020, they're going to make a Green Lantern movie. So,
oh yeah, I can't wait for that Green Lantern Corps movie. I've heard it's going to be like a buddy cop film between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. 2020, God, save the date, y'all.
Fucking kill me. Speaking of fucking kill me, Guy Gardner.
Oh, fucking Guy.
I refuse to talk about Guy.
Oh, we can talk about the time that Injustice Superman ripped his arm off.
Oh, that's fun.
That was brutal. He just got annoyed. He was like, fuck you, I'm tired of your talking. Like, I mean, he was also in his way, because Injustice Superman is a dick and was trying to do something terrible. I can't remember what.
Yeah.
I read the entire Injustice storyline. I can't remember what he was doing when he killed Guy Gardner.
If you guys genuinely want to be like, who the fuck is Guy Gardner? Why are you guys reacting that way? His entire character is Boston asshole. Like, to the point where in Young Justice season 1, there's an episode where everyone's pitching potential new recruits for the Justice League.
Oh God, I remember this.
And Barry is like, Adam is all good because of his size, but we could always use some more raw firepower. And Earth has a third Green Lantern. And both John and Hal just in unison say, no. And he's like,
no.
oh, wait, no.
Yeah, no one likes Guy Gardner. It's much sad.
But who everyone likes is fucking Kyle Rayner.
Kyle Rayner.
People who know that he's
the first White Lantern.
Yeah, well,
isn't he? I'm pretty sure he was.
Kinda.
Or am I missing something?
Cheated. Like, okay, so
he's just the first person to get all like 6 or 8 rings.
7. So here's the thing. All right, now let's start talking. Let's start talking about the actual Green Lantern Corps to tie into that. Sure. Originally, there was the Green Lantern Corps, and the enemy of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan specifically, was Sinestro, who had his own like yellow base abilities very similar to Green Lantern, and similarly, there was another arch nemesis of Hal, Star Sapphire. So Hal's girlfriend is Carol Ferris, but after they broke up, a mysterious pinkish gemstone landed from space, being, the leader of Ferris Industries, which is an aerospace division. Carol wound up, having jurisdiction to discover that gem, and it embedded itself inside her stomach, in her tummy, and it transformed her into a psychopath Like the Jim was exerting its will over her mind, and she gained the ability to make pink energy constructs similar to Green Lantern, and she called herself Star Sapphire. And the way he defeats her is that he pulls the Jim out of her. It just sort of phases through her, so like it's not like ripping her stomach open.
Yeah.
And yet, it goes back to her multiple times. It's like fucking Venom, uh, more or less. Like Venom always finds a way to get back to Eddie Brock. Um, so uh, and then later, Sinestro's like, to fight the Green Lantern Corps, I will make my own Sinestro Corps. And he does. And he uses the yellow energy from the cosmological entity Parallax, who again at one point possessed Hal Jordan and really fucked everything up. Um, and and so they're like, yeah, it's the Yellow Lanterns of the Sinestro Corps versus the Green Lantern, and we would eventually learn that similar to Parallax, there actually is a green entity that powers the. Okay, so somewhere out in the depths of the space, the way it works is there is a colored entity representing both a color and an emotion. For yellow, it's fear. For green, it's willpower. And that entity channels its energy to various huge space stations that are massive lantern shaped power batteries. And those power batteries in turn channel the energy to little like handheld lanterns, which in turn channel their energy to a ring. So technically, every lantern has not just a ring, but also their own lantern, which they can recharge the ring in. But we
Right.
never see those handheld lanterns, so they're more or less obsolete. Um, but okay, so it's like okay, so Sinestro basically just used Parallax as his own cosmological entity. So he set up his own lantern, fucking energy feed scenario, just like the Green Lanterns have. Um, and then it was like, actually, it turns out there's others. There is a red entity which fuels the Red Lantern cores, which are based on rage. Um, there's an orange entity which I think there's only one orange lantern, Agent Orange. Like he's it, right?
I
And
don't know.
I believe he's the only one, and he's so orange is the color of avarice or greed, and so he's actually like a black market dealer, basically, for
That's
the
fun.
like he's basically like whatever other Lantern Corps hires him, he'll do shady shit for. Um, he's just about that money, man, and I respect the grind.
Before
Uh,
we move on entirely from the Red Lanterns, I have to bring up my favorite Red Lantern, which is
is it Dexstar?
it's Dexstar,
Yes.
a house cat.
Yeah,
Not even like an alien special cat. It's a house
like an
cat.
actual cat. Yeah,
It's literally
like
a cat. Gets a Red
because the
Lantern ring.
because the Red Lanterns are based on the emotion of rage. So every ring, when it's okay, there is a set number of members of a Lantern Corps, and
Mhm.
when a member of the Corps either dies or retires, the ring will seek out an individual somewhere in the section of space that lantern is assigned to, because they split. It makes no sense to map out space because space moves, but like it's constantly shifting. But they do it somehow. So there's like quadrants of space and like sub quadrants and like sub quadrants. And so it's like there's one lantern to every one of those little slices, right? And so when a lantern assigned to that quadrant dies or retires, the ring finds someone in that entire slab of space that is currently exemplifying that emotion more than anyone else. And when whatever Red Lantern was assigned to the Earth-ish section of space died or retired, at that very moment, a man got killed by like some thug with a gun, and he was the owner of a cat, and that cat was so fueled with rage that more than anybody else on Earth, that cat was exemplifying rage to a point that the Red Lantern ring at that moment rushed to him.
That's my favorite thing in all of Lantern Corps lore. My single favorite thing.
So Dexstar became a Red Lantern. Oh, and I guess I'll also say the leader of the Red Lanterns is Atrocitus, who is pretty cool. And I should also say every one of these corps have a little speech. Like famously with Green Lantern, it's in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. And like reciting that can give the lantern like a little power boost. Like it's basically just like saying a cool speech so it reinvigorates their will. It's like the Braveheart speech scene or whatever, or like we will not go quietly into the night from Independence Day. You know, it's one of those. It hypes you up, and that hype carries you forward, right? But it's on a much more literal level because again, they're fueled by willpower. They are fueled by hype. Let one of these motherfuckers watch Gurren Lagann and they'll be the strongest fucking Green Lantern ever. But I only know part of the Red Lantern one because Atrocitus says it in his Ultimate Attack and Injustice 2. It's fucking together with our hellish hate will burn you all, that is your fate. The Red Lantern's signature thing, by the way, is that their blood becomes part of their energy construct. So they literally have the power to vomit molten fiery energy plasma blood onto you.
That's disturbing.
It's pretty fucking cool though. I've thought about it, right? I've been like, what energy do I most exemplify? What if I was any of these lanterns, what would I be? Would I be a blue lantern because my favorite color is blue? And I was like, no, realistically I'd probably be a red lantern.
I'm pretty sure I'd be a blue lantern. I'm pretty hopeful.
Yeah, so we'll use that to segue into
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, there you are. Listen to Phantom Optimist. But
by the way, we have an entire episode talking about how the Green Lantern movie is not as bad as people say it is over on the Phantom Optimist. Go find it.
It's true. Batman v Superman is worse. Heyo. Blue Lanterns are of the 7 primary chromatic colors. They're actually the strongest.
Blue.
It's true. That is official. That is canon. The Blue Lanterns are stronger than Green Lanterns or any of the others.
I did not know that.
Yeah, their rings have more abilities than any of the others, and they're like you said, they're powered by hope. They are put a Blue Lantern against an average Blue Lantern against an average Lantern of any other corps. The Blue Lantern's going to win. Like that's how it is. So I just think that's really cool.
That's awesome.
And then one of the coolest Lantern Corps is the Indigo Tribe because they're on some fucking Avatar shit, not the good Avatar like Last Airbender, the bad one like James Cameron, but like because they're like advanced space race, but they choose to just like live in trees and like they don't even have rings. They have like walking sticks, like staffs, like Gandalf the fucking Grey, that have the little like Indigo gemstone in them that they project shit from. That's cool. I really like that.
They're really cool.
And their emotion is compassion. And you might go, well, 7, right? So the last one would be like some kind of violet. And that's where I say, hey, remember how Carol Ferris became Star Sapphire and that shit would not let her go? Eventually she was like, all right, look, I'm Carol Ferris, motherfucker. Am I a little upset Hal broke up with me? Yes, but I still like him. Stop trying to make me kill him. I love him. And something with that sparked something. It turns out that this gemstone was itself connected to a massive cosmological entity, and I think she shifted that cosmological entity's like purpose to love. And
Hmm.
at that point, she was able to found her own lantern corps called the Star Sapphires. And
That's pretty cool.
that's canon. Carol Ferris is the leader of the Star Sapphires, which are essentially the Pink Lantern.
Yeah.
And they're pretty cool. I think they're all women. That seems a little fucked up, but whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
that is a little fucked. Am I wait? So Sapphire is sometimes a villain?
she was originally a villain, and she more recently became a hero in the comics.
Okay, was she exclusively a hero after founding the Star Sapphires?
Pretty much. I mean, like, she might still come into ideological conflict with other Lantern Corps, but that's like politics, not like, you know, straight up villainy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but she basically in the old comics she was bad. She ain't bad anymore. That's the general idea to go with. So now, keen-eared listeners will first want to listen to this ad break because I remembered to do it this time. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I literally was like, oh, ad break, and I got to do it when I think of it.
That was the most flawless segue I've ever heard into an ad break.
Thanks. Probably not. Anyway, so keen-eared listeners might have heard, hey, didn't you say that there was 9 Lantern Corps? Yes. And didn't you also specify 7 chromatic Lantern Corps? Yes. Yes, I did. Because there are, in fact, 2 other Lantern Corps. There is the Black Lanterns, which they're not even based on an emotion.
Zombie!
Yeah. They're not even based on an emotion. They're based on death.
Death.
There was a massive story called Blackest Night, like from the Green
Apocalypse,
where a shit ton of the heroes and villains who have died over the decades of DC Comics, a bunch of Black Lantern rings went out, and they don't attach themselves to someone exemplifying an emotion. Those things attach themselves to corpses and resurrect them as zombies with lanterns. Batman had just died in the comics, and like because he never dead, literally this Black Lantern ring turned him into a Black Lantern, and later he just got better. So,
because he's Batman.
Yeah. But I think I want to say Jay Garrick. Well, no, right? Well, I don't know. Fucking Aquaman was a Black Lantern. Arthur Curry, like a bunch of them, like a bunch of characters. I think was it Elongated Man?
Can't remember.
I think he became
the
one.
only thing I remember about it is that Barry becomes a Blue Lantern.
Yes. Basically, there was a zombie apocalypse because all these zombies, like, you might be like, well, what are zombies going to do in a world of superheroes? Well, when the zombies are also superheroes and they also all have lantern rings, that's dangerous. So, yeah. So it's like you have Aquaman as
also,
a zombie.
If you read Deceased, you realize that zombies in a superhero world, even without the lantern rings, are pretty scary.
Yeah. But yeah, so they were fucking shit up, and so it was like, oh, what are we gonna do? And so all the Lantern Corps came down. It was like, all right, Earth superheroes, you need a boost, and they made all of the superheroes various lanterns. Barry became a Blue Lantern, like you said. I think at one point when Batman just got better, I think he was a Yellow Lantern.
Cool.
Which is effective because he already uses fear.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
I think Wonder Woman was a Star Sapphire, because of course she would be. Why the fuck are they all women? That's sexist as fuck. to be like, yeah, men can't feel love.
Yeah, for real.
God damn it, it pissed me off. Anyway, uh, yeah. So they were all lanterns and they fought this big lantern war, and really things only ended because the ninth lantern corps made itself known as a possibility. There is a white entity who is connected to the force of life itself, and he is like, all right, I'm gonna upgrade you all, and he made pretty much the whole Justice League into white lanterns.
Oh,
And
I didn't know they all got to be White Lanterns. That's pretty cool.
yeah, there was like a single battle where they got to be white lanterns and they fought against the black entity and they won and they ended the threat. And then they're like, all right, that's enough, yoink, and they took the rings back.
I think it's very clever that white light is the power of life. When if you put white light through a prism, you get all the rainbow colors. So
Yep,
it's the combination of all the human emotions creates the power of life itself.
yep. And it's the antithesis of death. I love that shit. Like, you could be like, that's really gay. Well, I'm really gay, bitch, and I love that shit. um I I am both bi and autistic, and both of them use like, rainbow shit. It's like, yeah, I was always going to love this. It's also fucking cool space laser battles. Like, come on, man.
You can't not like cool laser space battles.
Exactly. With zombies? Like, sometimes you just got to enjoy shit. And it is a very enjoyable story. But yes, so Kyle Rayner.
I remember a quote that might just be my own quote. I keep forgetting. But I said the only things you should take seriously in life are your finances, your loved ones, and your health, and everything else is for fun. Stop taking anything else seriously and just love stuff.
Yeah. So Kyle Rayner, already he was a very effective Green Lantern. Like, he's just a really cool guy, really good with his powers. And then this madman was like, hey, why don't we wear more than one ring? And like, one of the Green Lanterns are just like, well, because if you just wear two Green Lantern rings, then you're still just doing the same thing. You got the same amount of power. It's just split into two rings now. It's like shooting two smaller bullets instead of just one big bullet that's double the size. He's like, no, why don't we wear more than one color of ring? And they're just like, huh.
Huh.
I guess I never really thought about it. And so this motherfucker just grabs a blue lantern ring and puts it on. And for a while, he was literally operating as a blue-green lantern because his outfit was split vertically down the middle. Like, his left side was green and his right side was blue.
Yay!
And then he was like, I could go even further beyond. That's a Dragon Ball Z reference for those of you who don't know. So there's a famous comic panel which looks like, have you ever seen someone who's had the realization that the amount of power that they're currently wielding is terrifying? Because there's a comic panel where it's a close-up of his face and both of his hands. Like, he's lifted both of his hands up to his face, and you see that his fingers have all 7 rings on, and you hear, like, the text boxes have the voices of the rings, because every time you put on a ring, they'll be like, welcome to whatever core, right?
Uh-huh.
So simultaneously, they're like, welcome to the Red Lantern Corps, welcome to the Star Sapphires, welcome to the Yellow Lantern Corps, like, all of them at the same time. So you realize he just put all of them on at the same time. And like, he's got this look, because like, it looks like his hands are on rainbow fire. Like, that's how much like energy is pouring off of them.
That's
and he's got
cool.
this look of like, oh shit, what have I done? And he becomes like a pseudo White Lantern. Like, it's like a little bit more grayish, but yeah, he pretty much cheated himself into becoming a White Lantern.
That's pretty cool.
Because he was a member of all 7 corps at once. That's fucking dope. I love it when people like game the system. It's like, yes, we have 10 fingers, man. There's 7 cores. Why would you not? Someone's got to try it for science. See what happens.
I really like that.
Yeah. Kyle Rayner's just really cool. And now we got to talk about the fact that he is also famous for a hated comic trope. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Fridging.
Yep, fridging. So, anyone who has heard of fridging might know what it means. It is the act of introducing a romantic interest to a hero character and then killing them off for the sole purpose of emotionally manipulating the main hero character. So it essentially takes away character agency and introduces this loved one just as a tool to manipulate the story of the actual character. It's fucked up, and it's more often done to women than it is to men. Because, just by nature, a lot of characters in superhero comics are men. So, of course, their loved ones, because we're in a heteronormative society, would be women. And so they do that. And you might go, okay, but why is it called fridging? Well, let me tell you.
Boy.
Let me tell you. Because the most, like, the earliest and most memorable time when it was done was so fucked up that it made the comics community go, what the fuck, so hard that they were like, we're now calling it this. Kyle Rayner had a girlfriend and they were in a loving relationship, and some villain wanted to fuck with Kyle, and one day he goes home and he's like calling out to see if his honey is home, and she's not answering. He's like, maybe she's just out. And he's hungry, and so he goes to the fridge, and he opens the fridge, and he just screams bloody murder. And we find out that the villain got a hold of her, chopped her body into pieces, and stuffed her in the fridge for him to come home to and find. And nobody liked that. It's basically
Nobody
a universal thing of like, don't use fridging in comics, okay? We're not saying that loved ones can't die. Like, obviously, that's an effective storytelling thing. And hell, it's realistic. Sometimes you lose people in life. We get that. Don't introduce a character just to kill them. Don't introduce a character just to cause pain for another character that you actually care about. I had something else I was going to say and I forgot it. I think I was going to mention another instance of fridging, but I can't. Like, it's upsetting and nobody likes it.
No, it's a bad trope.
Yeah. So it is a shame that possibly the thing Kyle Rayner is most well known for is a bad thing in comics, when he's a genuinely really good character.
Yeah.
I believe he also had a lot of dealings with Ion, who, from my understanding, sometimes she's a Green Lantern, sometimes she's just a person who uses the green entity's energy, but like isn't officially a member of the Lantern Corps. But regardless, Ion, wait, is it Jade?
Don't know.
There's like multiple characters that have these names, right? That are like kind of the same thing. Okay, I'm sure people are gonna get pissed at me. Look, please remember, I'm poor and I can't afford comic books. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Okay, Ion. Okay, I'm sorry. Ion is the entity of Will. But wait, I thought Ion was also a character.
I don't know.
Ion, disambiguation. Okay, Kyle Rayner became possessed by Ion in the same way that Hal Jordan was possessed by Parallax for a while. And please keep that in mind. Again, when you're like, why do you think Kyle Rayner is so much better than Hal? Hal got possessed by the bad guy, and Kyle got possessed by the good guy. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So that's who Ion is. I apologize. No, I was thinking of Jade, who I'm now going to look up real quick to make sure that I don't have her shit incorrect. Okay. Okay. So she is the daughter of Alan Scott.
Oh.
Yeah. She's a founding member of Infinity Inc., which is like a C tier DC team. She's worked with the Justice League and the Justice Society, member and leader of the Outsiders. And yeah, so okay, her okay, she has energy manipulation powers from birth. But unlike her father, the powers do not come from a ring or a lantern, but are channeled through a star-shaped birthmark on her palm. So she could already naturally channel energy. But later, she also becomes a member of the Green Lantern Corps, and she gets a power ring. It says that her natural powers come from something called the Star Heart.
Cool.
I don't know what that is, but because when she's using the ring, the power comes from the it's like two different power sources. It also says that her ring has a yellow impurity, which requires her to face her fears and overcome them with green willpower in order to master it. So that's neat. So Jade is cool. From what I understand, she's been a member of a lot of really neat stories. And yeah, she was so. Oh yeah, she's So not only is she the daughter of Alan Scott, but she was one of the girlfriends of Kyle Rayner. She was also a Black Lantern for a while. That's pretty fucked up. And I think this is funny. The Comics Buyer's Guide ranked her 34th in the 100 sexiest women in comics, which is pretty fucking good. Like, that's pretty high. There's a lot of unrealistically attractive women in comics. But yeah. All right. Other than that, the other Green Lanterns, the human ones anyway, are like Simon Baz, who I know exists.
That's about as far as I've gotten too. I've not really read most of the stuff that has him in it, and to my knowledge, he's not been in other than like maybe in the background somewhere. He's not been in any like animated projects or anything like that. So
I've never heard him name dropped, and I've at least known of his name since like 2012. So, and then I only just recently discovered that Jessica Cruz exists. You know more about her than I do, so tell us a little bit about her.
I quite liked the story of Jessica Cruz. I'm a little behind on Justice League comics, but I was reading all of the New 52 Justice League comics as they were coming out. So her story arc there is actually one of my favorite origin stories for a Green Lantern, because it's after the Justice League fights the crime syndicate of Earth 3. And
with Power Ring.
Yeah, Power Ring is one of the characters. I guess a brief... I mean, do you know like his whole thing? Because I just know that the ring is like, instead of finding people with strong will, it finds cowardly people and channels their fear into just panic and destruction and awfulness.
What I know of Earth 3 is that, like, way back in the Golden Age, they came up with the concept of Bizarro World, where everything was backwards, and then eventually they were like, what if we do a proper universe where shit is backwards, but actually in a way that could make some logical sense to have a functioning world,
Yeah.
unlike Bizarro World. So it was just like all the good guys are villains, all the villains are good guys. Jester and Alexander Luthor instead of Lex Luthor and Joker are like heroes from the Justice League. Ultraman instead of Superman, Superwoman instead of Wonder Woman, Owlman instead of Batman. They're all like villains of the crime syndicate of America, which are the greatest threats to the world. And instead of Green Lantern, they have a member called Power Ray. And I know a lot of this because of the Crisis on Two Earths movie,
Yeah,
um, which is a great movie, by the way.
it's a great movie. So Power Ring, it's like the ring is inhabited by the spirit of some entity called Volthoom, and is really mean. Like it's always trash talking whoever's wearing it, and it's just an awful thing. I don't think you can take it off willingly, unless you're really good at it. But anyway, the Justice League defeats the crime syndicate, and they manage to remove the ring from Power Ring. And at this moment, Jessica Cruz and some of her friends are on a little camping trip in the woods, and they come across someone doing something awful. It's like burying a body or something. Like they stumble across a crime they weren't supposed to see. And I think her friends get killed, and she barely escapes with her life, and she's experiencing a lot of trauma and panic, and the ring of Volthoom finds her. And so she becomes the new Power Ring. And she's like, the powers are out of control and everything's terrible. And at some point, the Justice League, finds her, and it's pretty clear that she doesn't want to be doing this. And I think somehow, God, it was complex. I wish I could remember all the details, but it was like Batman manages to talk her down, which was just a really cool Batman scene.
I appreciate that because this is a very clear mental health parallel with her. And if anyone's going to be good at talking down someone with mental health problems, it's the guy who all of his villains go to an asylum.
Yeah. Batman manages to talk her down, and they like briefly depower the ring of Volthoom. And then I remember that Hal Jordan had been like gone for a long time, and he came back for this because he figured she might need help. And so he comes back to try to teach her how to control the powers in the ring, even though it's not quite the same sort of ring. But I guess if you're really good at energy-based construct rings, maybe you can help her with her panic ring. And there was a big arc where they fight Darkseid, and all of the Justice Leaguers become like gods. Like Superman becomes the god of strength, and there was an arc where Batman replaces Metron as the god of knowledge. And
Is that when he stole the chair?
yeah,
I remember that.
It was a pretty cool arc. And then the Flash like merges with the Black Racer and becomes the god of death.
Oh, dude.
It was a hardcore comic book. I really loved that issue. It's like volume 7 of the New 52 Justice League stuff. Maybe it was volume 8. I don't know. But there's a big battle with Darkseid. I feel like the Flash kills the Anti-Monitor or something, and Darkseid manages to like separate the Flash from the Black Racer, and so now the Black Racer's trying to kill the Flash, and somehow something happens where they manage to, like, oh gosh, what was it? Somehow they regain control. Like Jessica had lost control of the Volthoom ring at some point, and they managed to get it back under control just long enough for her to like take the hit from the Black Racer, because they figured out that the Black Racer isn't going to leave until it kills someone.
I have the page pulled up here. So she jumped in the way in order to get herself killed by the Black Racer, but what actually happened was that it wound up killing the entity of Volthoom
Yeah,
inside of the
it
ring.
kills Volthoom, and then the ring is like turns to dust or something, and then a real Green Lantern ring finds her because she's shown tremendous willpower throughout this whole thing. And I thought it's a really cool origin story for her as a Green Lantern,
I
that
should
she has
also
to
say
put up with this shitty Volthoom power ring.
I should also say that book pre Ring of Volthoom, after after she found mobsters who were burying a body, they killed all of her friends, and she locked herself in her bedroom for
That's
4 years.
I remember that now. There we go.
So
Yeah, she
yeah,
was in sheer panic and
yeah.
trauma. Um,
I you know what? I like her because
she's
as
pretty
someone who,
cool. I really like her character.
as someone who's experienced anxiety throughout my life, I I do love seeing someone who has gone through severe trauma learn to find their own inner strength to overcome it. It's always very inspiring.
Yeah, she's like, she definitely has my favorite origin story for a Green Lantern. And I know that she was also in the Justice League versus the Fatal Five animated movie, which is set in the DC animated universe from the 90s cartoons and stuff. Like the old, just like the same one with Jon Stewart's Green Lantern and everything,
Who
where
is not blind,
who is
apparently.
apparently not blind. But yeah, Jessica Cruz is also in that Earth. That story arc was that members of the Legion of Superheroes have come back to the present, and they go through her origin story. They skip the Volthoom shit because they don't have an Earth 3 crime syndicate deal going on. And
They kind of do.
they kind of did in A Better World,
Or
but that was just a Green Lantern who's kind of a dick.
no. I meant the Justice Lords. They're
Yeah,
pretty.
the Justice Lords, where it was like, but he wasn't like Volthoom power ring based on panic. It was
Oh
just Green
yeah,
Lantern, but he's a dick in this world.
yeah.
But so they had almost the same origin, where she and her friends find someone bearing a body, and she like gets cornered on a cliffside or something and falls off trying to escape the criminal, and a power ring finds her, Green Lantern ring. And yeah, she's really cool in that too. It's a good movie.
Cool. I mean, do you have any other Green Lanterns you want to talk about? Like, I don't know what to say about like Kilowog, who's just like, he's a big pink dude, and
Yeah, I guess there's Sinestro, who was a Green Lantern before he was a dick.
well, he was a dick as a Green
That's
Lantern
true,
too.
but now he's even more of a dick. What a
Um,
dick.
yeah, what an asshole. Is it bad that I still find him weirdly attractive? Like in the Green Lantern movie, like I don't know, man.
Mark Strong. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, that what? Okay, wasn't he the same guy that played fucking Piccolo in that shitty ass live action Dragon? I gotta look that up. Hang on.
Well, I don't know if Mark Strong was in that. I have no idea.
Hang on. Oh, he was Sylvana in Shazam. Okay.
Yep. The villain of Shazam. He's in Kingsman.
No. What? Oh, never mind. That wasn't him. But oh, he was Frank D'Amico in Kick Ass.
Ah, that's fun.
No. Okay. Sorry. Now that's just gonna bother me. Who played him? James Marsters. That okay? That's right. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, Mark Strong as Sinestro was a pretty good character, and they got so close to getting to do a sequel. I mean, they didn't. Like, they got close as in they set one up and then
They
hopelessly failed at drawing any attention to the movie, and then they didn't get a sequel.
if by close you mean they did what the Super Mario Brothers movie did, then sure.
Yeah, they got close in the sense that they clearly wished they could.
Yeah, and then didn't. um
And man, they made that yellow suit look crisp at the very end of the Green Lantern movie. I'm still sad we didn't get a sequel to it.
They did. I kind of wanted to see that.
It was pretty cool.
There is a Green Lantern that's basically just DC's answer to Ego the Living Planet.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I forgot his name, but
yeah, but it's a planet with a ring. How does that work? I don't know. I guess a fucking little rock sliver, like a stalag, has I had to think for a second there. Has like the ring on the tip of it or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
Superman kills that in Injustice as well.
Oh, that's great.
Injustice, Superman is the scariest thing I've ever seen in comic books. He's terrifying.
Well, because the rings have a mild size shifting ability. They will actually alter their own size to be able to fit on whatever race they're going on.
Right.
But I don't think that they can wrap around a planet. So I'm going to assume it was just like, look, any part of the planet can be considered, quote unquote, its finger.
Yeah.
So it's just on there somewhere. I'm
probably wrapped around a tree.
Yeah, something like that. Sure, why not, right? So I also there is a squirrel. I remember that. There's a squirrel that is a Green Lantern, and I like to believe he is arch enemies with Dexstar. I'm telling you, man. There's fodder for better Legion of Super Pets members than fucking Bat Cow
or Comet the Super Horse.
Yeah, we don't need that's ineffective.
I want Dexstar.
Yeah. Let Dexstar take the place of Sparky, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Streaky. I know their names. I swear. Yeah. Keep Beppo though. I just think it's really funny the idea of someone being decapitated with a turd being thrown at Mach 5.
That's pretty good.
One of the most insulting and terrifying ways to die. Yeah, so, basically what all this boils down to is Green Lanterns are pretty cool. The Lantern Corps in general are really fucking cool. I love that concept. Maybe just remember though, I still believe ACAB. So it's a good thing that for the most part, these cops are not descended from slave runners. I don't know about all the history of the Guardians of the Universe, though. It seems like they've done some shady shit. They did make the Manhunters, so...
I remember there's a deal where Superman in Injustice finds out that the Guardians and the Lantern Corps maybe could have saved Krypton and just fucking didn't. And I think he vaporizes the Lantern who's responsible for that sector. Superman, we should just do an entire Injustice Superman episode at some point.
We can do an episode about Injustice in general.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. That's a scary world, man.
It is. I still argue that it's worse when it's actually treated like a horror movie, and that's why Brightburn scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because that's you can call it whatever you want, but that's clearly a Superman movie.
Yeah.
I'm about done. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, everybody, join the Cape Corner Discord. Sometimes I post polls, sometimes I don't. I'm a fickle mistress that way. You get what you get. But when I do, you can vote on whatever character you want to hear for the upcoming week's episode. Um, uh, I should say that I recently put Mario in a poll for an episode after I had already done a Mario episode. So um, I will also ask you to exercise caution because sometimes I can be dumb. If you see someone and you know that I've already talked about them, like don't pick them because somebody did still vote for Mario. And um, also use
They
your
just
best
really
logic.
wanted to hear your follow-up thoughts on Mario.
Yeah, I already talked so much about it. Uh, my plan, by the way, was that I would put Mario parentheses aka good Wario. It to that once I've done a Mario episode, I would replace him with Wario parentheses aka evil good Wario. I guess that's just my sense of humor. Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at Cape Corner. You can follow Jordan at Twitter, or sorry, on Twitter, at Jordan Blueman for his personal Twitter, or at Fandom Optimus, which is also a podcast you should listen to.
Yay.
It's really good. If you want more talking about how nerd shit is good, actually, and maybe we should all stop bitching about it so fucking much, that's one to listen to.
That's, dude, you might have just given me a new description. I feel like I should put that in the thing. Let's talk about how nerd shit is good, actually, and stop bitching about everything.
You're welcome for that, Gold.
Oh, that's great. I gotta put that somewhere.
do like you know how people will advertise their product and they'll put like a quote that somebody said?
Oh yeah, like the back of the cover.
Yeah, do quote.
That.
Just like what if people had to say about Phantom Optus? Blue. Nerd shit is good, actually.
Oh, it's flawless.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, you can also support me on Anchor if you wish. If I can shamelessly steal a phrase from the Weekly Planet, chuck in a buck. I did the ad break. I did remember that this time. Good job, me. Thanks, me. So until the day comes where I can start making merch, I think that's it. Any closing thoughts about Green Lantern and associated properties, my friend?
Don't be a dick. Don't be a Yellow Lantern or whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I used to totally like end these episodes on like really inspirational things, didn't I?
Yeah, that tells you a lot about the direction of the world for us.
Yeah. Well, in 2022, I am trying to find my my inspiration once again. 2021 was rough. Actually, the first couple of days of 2022, I was feeling very lonely and depressed. And everyone, I'm going to give a shout out. If you made it to the end of the episode, go start watching videos from a guy on YouTube called Corn Games. He's been playing through several games, but a lot of it he's been playing through the Kingdom Hearts series for the first time. And he's a very funny guy, very talented in editing, and he's very wholesome, good energy. He makes it his mission to try and make people's day better. And he made a new outro for 2022. And in it, there's a couple of anime quotes that he finds inspirational. And I have never watched Demon Slayer before, but one of the quotes is from the Demon Slayer movie. and it was like the exact words that I needed to hear. And I've made it my new Discord bio, which is, if you are feeling disheartened that you are somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze. And you could be like, that's really cheesy. Yes, but that is also the shit that gets me through my toughest moments. Like, hearing things like that, it re-energizes me. I feel like I can tackle 2022 now. And so if you needed to hear those words, I hope that you hear them. And I'm going to try to now end this on an inspirational thing related to the character, which I guess would be, all emotions serve a purpose. It matters how you choose to use them. Being a member of the Yellow Lanterns doesn't make you evil by nature, but Sinestro chose to use fear for the purposes of evil. Again, Batman is one of the goodest motherfuckers we know, and he was a Yellow Lantern because he was using fear in the service of saving people. Red Lanterns are not inherently evil. Acting on rage can still save someone. Um, it, you can be, again, look at Dexter. He is rageful because his master was murdered. He can use that rage now to make sure no other cat has to go through that. It matters how you choose to use them. So don't try to just throw whatever your strongest emotions are away or think that they're inherently an evil. It just channel them. Use your creativity to construct something good out of them. That's pretty good, right? Like I
That
managed
was
to,
pretty good. I was just
yeah,
sitting here like that was really good. The
yeah,
part
thank
about
you.
making sure that that never happens to any other cats, that really got to me.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, he is a little kitty and we love him. All
Love
right,
cats.
everybody. I do, and so does Batman.
Ah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for listening. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes.